Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. I fear that sometimes Bible students get so focused on the small things that they miss the larger, more important things, the reason the passage exists in the first place. Take, for example, Leviathan. What is it? Well, we will discuss some possibilities in a few moments, but whatever it was, Job knew. But figuring out what Leviathan is not why we have Job 41. There is a much more important teaching found in it that is sometimes missed when we focus on the identity of a Leviathan alone. Let's find out what that teaching is. So if you have a Bible with you, turn to Job chapter 41. We're going to be reading from verses 12 to 34. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Job chapter 41, beginning at verse 12. I will not conceal his limbs, his mighty power, his graceful proportions. Who can remove his outer coat? Who can approach him with a double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face with his terrible teeth all around? His rows of scales are his pride, shut up tightly as with a seal. One is so near another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together and cannot be parted. His sneezings flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lights, sparks of fire shoot out. Smoke goes out of his nostrils, as from the boiling pot and burning rushes. His breath kindles coals, and a flame goes out of his mouth. Strength dwells in his neck, and sorrow dances before him. The folds of his flesh are joined together. They are firm on him and cannot be moved. His heart is as hard as stone, even as hard as the lower millstone. When he raises himself up, the mighty are afraid. Because of his crashings, they are beside themselves. Though the sword reaches him, it cannot avail, nor does the spear, dart, or javelin. He regards iron as straw and bronze as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones become like stubble to him. Darts are regarded as straw. He laughs at the threat of javelins. His undersides are like sharp potsherds. He spreads pointed marks in the mire. He makes the deep boil like a pot. He makes the sea like a pot of ointment. He leaves a shining wake behind him. One would think the deep had white hair. On the earth there is nothing like him, which is made without fear. He beholds every high thing. He is king over all the children of pride. In the last lesson, we discussed the many guesses as to what Leviathan could have been. We said that some say it's a sea serpent, some say a dragon, some say a crocodile, some say a whale, others might suggest it could be what we call a sea-dwelling dinosaur. Whatever it is, it must fit with the description found here. God says that it has limbs. He is powerful and is quite large. His outer hide is well protected, and he cannot be controlled with a double bridle like horses could. He has a large mouth that houses powerful teeth that can cut through anything it comes in contact with. Continuing on, its sneezing flashes forth like light, and his eyelids shine in the morning. Out of his mouth goes burning lights, think of something like fire, and smoke goes out of his nostrils. His breath is so hot that it kindles coals. His neck is strong in order to kill its prey. His inward parts are well protected, and his heart is as hard as stone, likely meaning his disposition is such that his ferocity will not change. Any attempt to kill him, whether it be with spears, darts, javelins, or slingshot, is futile due to his size, strength, and the fact that he crashes around in the water. Because of the wake produced, one would think that the water had grown white hair. Truly, God says that there is none like him on the earth, which is made without fear. He is that great in the sea. Knowing all of this, what could this be? Well, first we must admit that highly poetic language is used. They are meant to convey a great and powerful animal, one that would strike fear in whatever approached. Did it literally breathe fire? Perhaps, but perhaps not, for what proceeded from its mouth could have looked like fire and smoke to the observer, when in fact it was steam. The phrase, "where there is smoke, there is fire," is a phrase that I might think fits here from the perspective of the observer of this creature. One animal that is mentioned at the top can be ruled out, and that is the whale, for even though it is big, its body does not fit the description found here. As to the others, a sea serpent, a dragon, a crocodile, or a sea-dwelling dinosaur, I cannot say one way or another. The crocodile is usually picked because the others are seen as either mythological or extinct during man's time on earth, which we contend is false. But as I've said before, while myths exist, there is usually some element of truth to them that was exaggerated into legend. Dragons, I believe, were real creatures, perhaps dinosaurs, for they resemble creatures that do exist on this earth today, though they may no longer exist. Cave markings found in different places around the globe depict great animals, some of which bear a striking resemblance to some of the dinosaurs you can see at exhibits at the museum. Mankind writes about what he knows. Even science fiction depicts aliens as creatures that look like it came from Earth, either in structure or behavior. So simply saying that it has to be a crocodile because the others are myths, I believe, are out of place. With that being said, I can see why people think it's a crocodile, because the creature described sounds an awful lot like a crocodile, and for the people of Job's day, would have been an animal that would have been near impossible to kill. For me, though, I can't say one way or another. And you know what? It doesn't matter, because that's not the point of Job 41. By focusing solely on the animal, we miss God's point, which was that Job thought of himself as so great that he could demand an audience with God. And yet, he was not the most powerful animal on this earth. He couldn't even kill or tame the most powerful animal on this earth, something God could do simply by speaking. Who then does Job think he is to presume to be able to demand an audience with God so that God could explain to him what Job wanted to know? When compared to God, we are infinitely weak. But even in comparison to some of the animals of creation, we are weak. We might desire answers from God, and sometimes God will give them to us. But we should not think so highly of ourselves to think that God owes us an explanation. God doesn't even owe us our own salvation, but through his grace and mercy offers a way to him through living, obedient faith in Jesus. If that doesn't humble us, I don't know what will. What will Job's reaction be? We'll find that out, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Job chapter 42, verses 1 to 6, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.